Oh, I remember now! It's been 1 year since I started this channel! Oh gosh darn golly old gee, how time flies by, huh? And since I covered the first Mario Party on the very first episode, it would only be fitting to review another Mario Party game for this episode. 2 of them even!
Despite some of its flaws, the first Mario Party was still a huge success, so there was absolutely no doubt that it would spawn a sequel. And then another. And another. The list just goes on forever! But whenever people talk about the Mario Party games, the 2 entries that would always slip out everyone's mouths would be Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3. These games were also on the Nintendo 64, but they improved mostly everything that was wrong about the first game. One of the biggest improvements would be no more rotating the analog stick!
Rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace in peace.
When they made a second game, they made sure to make more enjoyable boards, more enjoyable minigames, and also made sure that you still want to murder your friends after a fun and happy game. So, why am I gonna talk about both Mario Party 2 and 3? Because I'm gonna see which one deserves the most love. It's a battle, everybody! First, we can talk about the second game. What we have here is probably the most favorite Mario Party game ever, according to most people out there. And I can clearly see why people would think that. Not only did they fix the flaws that the first game had, but they also added lots of new things while still keeping it simplified. When the characters in the first game had their own individual boards, the boards in the second game are more themed to different adventure-like settings. We got Pirate Land, Western Land, Space Land, Mystery Land, Horror Land, and Beef Jerky Land. Okay, that last one was a lie. For each board, the characters will be dressed into different attire depending on what board you're playing on. One thing that I was a little disappointed in was that this game still only had 6 characters. The first game also had 6 characters, so I was sort of hoping to see more characters in the sequel. I guess I was kinda used to how most Nintendo 64 games had 8 or more playable characters in them. But do not worry though! The third game fixes that, but we'll get to that in a minute. Another very important addition they added in this game was something that would change Mario Party games forever, and that was collectible items. Players could now obtain items that they could use to get an advantage over their opponents. Some would give you more dice blocks, one would make you switch places with another player, and there's even an item that gives you a cheap cab ride to the star location. Heck, there's also an item that steals others' items. These items could either be obtained at the item shop, where you would have to pay coins in order to buy them, making coins more useful than the last game, or you could obtain them by landing on the item space and playing the item minigame. They also removed the one-player minigames, and it was probably for the best. Having one-player minigames pretty much increased the waiting time between each round, so in my opinion, I'm pretty glad that it's gone. This game also introduced the battle minigames, where each player would have to bet a certain amount of money against their own will, and then play a minigame. The winner keeps most of the pot, and then they all live happily ever after. That is a lie, no one ever lives happily after this game. Duels is also a new addition. You go head to head against another player and fights for whatever you want to fight for. Honor, family, bitches.
But what about the next game? Mario Party 3 had a lot of changes as well, so let's dive right in and see. Get it? Dive and see? I'm gonna go ahead and kill myself now.
Mario Party 3, on the other hand, upgrades the stuff that got introduced in Mario Party 2. The biggest change would have to be the items. In the second game, you could only carry 1 item at a time, but in the third game, you can carry 3. We got a lot of new items as well, making so that they split the items to 2 different item shops, one for Toad and one for Baby Bowser. You can still obtain these items from the item minigame, so don't you worry about that, little buddy. Speaking of minigames, this installment has over 70 brand new minigames in total. No, I'm serious, go look at the box art, it's right here. A lot of them are actually my favorites in the entire series, but I have to admit that there are some pretty stupid minigames, like this hide and sneak minigame and this quiz minigame. Some of the questions are just, well, dumb. There are also some extras, like the Game Guy minigames, where you have to bet all your coins on casino-like games. It's not really forgiving, I can tell you that much. Going back to the amount of playable characters, Mario Party 3 added 2 new characters, Princess Daisy and Waluigi. And for all of you who are hating on Waluigi, you're dumb! This guy deserves a spotlight! The boards in Mario Party 3 aren't really that memorable, but they sure did add more of a variety to them. More different things would happen on these boards. Just land on a happening space and find out. Another big addition to this game was the duel mode, and I'm not talking about the duels in Mario Party 2, no. The objective is to defeat the other player with the help of so-called partners. The players also have a heart gauge, and the goal is to use your partner to attack your opponent when approaching him or her on the board. You can also use the partners to defend yourself from your opponent's attacks. Each partner has different attack and heart points. So that's fun, isn't it? So it's basically a two-player mode, and it's quite enjoyable and requires a different kind of strategy, being very different from the normal game mode. They also changed the voices for most of the characters, finally letting Charles Martinet voice Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, and Donkey Kong. Yes, he only voiced Mario and Donkey Kong in the first two Mario Party games. Here is one thing you may have noticed: the design of the boards and minigames look different, but this is because Mario and his friends have been teleported to a toy box, so every object looks like they have been made out of paper. Is this an homage to Paper Mario? Suspicious! Mario Party 3 actually has some kind of plot in it. Mario here is just chilling, not giving a plumber fuck, while a mysterious star crashes onto the ground right beside him. Then the whole gang shows up and they're like, "Nyeh, I wanna keep it to myself, weh." So they decide to play Mario Party to see who'll get to keep it and to see who's the biggest superstar. I still don't know what that means. Mario Party 2 also had some kind of plot. Okay, not really, they were still fighting about that superstar shit. But it turns out that this star is actually alive, and it's called the Millennium Star. So in the story mode, this star pretty much forces you to play through all the normal and dual boards, and you have to win all of them. There's even a boss battle at the end, and when you win, we get to discover a giant plot twist. This star is not the real Millennium Star. But now it's time for the showdown. Which one is the best? Let's see! Each game has one or two different modes that the other game doesn't have. Mario Party 2 still got the single player mode from the first game, where you have to beat a certain minigame in order to proceed to the next one. Mario Party 3 does not have this feature. Although Mario Party 3 has dual mode, which can be fun in itself, it gives you a vastly different mode that has its own rules, which is a nice addition, but you can only play up to 2 players, which is kind of a bummer. Both games also have the regular minigame mode, where you can play any minigame you want if you have collected them. Both wins. While Mario Party 2 grabbed a few minigames from the first game, they were still the favorite ones. But like I said before, Mario Party 3 got over 70 brand new minigames, and they're all really fun. Okay, some of them are dumb, but most of them are pretty fun. I'm not saying that Mario Party 2 minigames are bad, they are great, but they also got some pretty stupid minigames. The third game introduced us to 1 vs 1 minigames, which is mostly used in dual mode, and they're great as well. Point goes to Mario Party 3. The points for this will without a doubt go to Mario Party 2. Not only are the boards memorable for how they are, but the characters will dress up to different costumes to match the theme of the board, which is a cool little thing. The Mario Party 3 boards, on the other hand, aren't really that memorable like I mentioned, but I can't say that they are bad, but they are not as good as Mario Party 2 boards. Although Waluigi's Island is still a great board, but it's not strong enough to save this point. Mario Party 2 and 3 are more different from each other than what Mario Party 2 was to the first game, but it was the second game that started to change the series, with collectible items, battle minigames, and duels. Mario Party 3 has the same elements, but upgraded it a little by having a lot more items and also giving you 3 open slots for items. Although some people feel that they added too many items, and some feel that only having 1 item at a time is a better thing. Mario Party 3 had 8 playable characters, while the second one only had 6, and the game itself looks better after they gave it the Paper Mario style with the cardboard design. But sometimes you'd rather want to play a much more simpler Mario Party, and the second game doesn't have too many things that would make you confused. Both wins.
Well, there you have it. Mario Party 2 and 3. There's only one thing left to do, and that is to choose which one I have to go with. Fuck! I guess I have to pick one, huh? Well, if I have to choose, I would probably go with Mario Party 3. The inclusion of more items made it a lot more enjoyable, at least for me. The minigames are great, but most importantly, Waluigi. Thank you for sticking with me this amazing year. It really has been a wonderful experience. And hey, we still have another year ahead of us with lots of new videos. So, next year, I'm gonna talk about Mario Party 4! No, I won't.
Hey guys, you've reached the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching my stupid shit this whole year. If you're new here and you fear that you've been missing out, do not worry, click that subscribe button and more videos will come to you in the future. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter as well. I post things there. Things.